Hey, how's it going, everyone? It's your boy Rod from DBZSHFIGS.com, and today I'm bringing to you episode number 46 of my weekly DBZSHFIGS update series. So as always, gonna begin here at my website, DBZSHFIGS.com. It's a complete archive of every single release in the Dragon Ball S.H.Figuarts line. You could come in here, look at pictures, videos, information on every single release ever. So make sure you check that out. Also, just want to let you know that I'm on the road to 5,000 subscribers. Once I reach that milestone, I'll be giving away Tamashii Nation store exclusive Son Goku Innocent Challenger, which is this guy right here. So if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe because you might even be the one that takes this one home. While you're at it as well, make sure to check out the Discord for the channel. It's a community where a bunch of like-minded individuals that love Dragon Ball S.H.Figuarts come together to share news and updates as well as our figure photography all day long. So if that sounds like a community you'd like to join, make sure you check out the link in the description. But anyways, we're going to start off with Amazon deals as always. So you could go here at DBZSHFIGS.com, go into the Amazon deals tab, and you will find all the best deals currently on Amazon for Dragon Ball S.H.Figuarts. So as always, each week I highlight the best ones. So of course, as always, we're going to have a bunch of the Daima figures because I just don't feel like they sell the best. So we have the adult Goku and Vegeta who have a slight discount. So they'll be cheaper if you buy them on Amazon than if you find them in the wild at Target or Walmart or stores like that. 8% off on Goku, so $34.99. And 5% off on Vegeta, so $35.99. So yeah, you end up saving a couple of bucks if you already have Amazon Prime. Then we have the trio of the mini Daima figures, which have a bunch of discount, honestly. So Vegeta has 32% off, so he's going to be $25, which is still kind of expensive for Vegeta, honestly. This guy at one point was 50% off, which was a pretty good price for him, in my opinion. But then we have Piccolo with 16% off, so he's only going to be $50 instead of the usual $60. That's a pretty fair price in my opinion. He does have that soft goods cape, which is going to have that bendy wire, giving it an infinite amount of articulation on the cape there, and the figure actually looks pretty good. Then we have Goku, who's the main man of the series. Yeah, he's going to be 34% off, so only 25 bucks. If you plan on collecting all the Daima figures, he's going to be the main one you want to have because the more expensive figures like Glorio and Pansy and Supreme Kai, they're going to come with DLC for this figure, so it's just going to be nice to rack up those extra accessories. Then speaking of little Gokus, we do have the GT Goku that has 11% off, so he's going to be $48, which is decent price for him, I would say. He does come with a Kamehameha effect piece, which, you know, Tamashii Nations usually values at like $20, so it's a pretty good deal for this one. The figure itself is pretty nice too, especially if you're nostalgic for GT. This is a really nice one to add to your collection. And that's gonna be it. Not a whole lot of items on sale lately, but let's see what next week brings. But anyways, now we're gonna move over to the Tamashii Nations calendar, which is a calendar that Tamashii Nations just keeps up with, you know, pre-orders opening, pre-orders closing, future releases, future re-releases, stuff like that. So in the month of October, on October 1st, we did get the pre-orders open for the brand new Super Saiyan Vegeta Dangerous Pride, as well as Son Goku the Kind-Hearted Saiyan. So those have been up for pre-order for a little while now. You could pre-order them from Amazon, Big Bad Toy Store, Toys in the Box, basically any online retailer that sells Dragon Ball S.H.Figuarts. And then Premium Bandai exclusive, the pre-orders open for Super Saiyan Son Goku Fighter of Rage. I'll be talking about that one a little later, but it's a pretty nice one, and that opened on October 10th. The Cell Games Begin Super Saiyan Goku, which is that first figure with the brand new articulation technology, just released yesterday. Meaning there's a bunch of videos, a lot of pictures. If you want to take a look at that, I have not received mine yet, but as soon as I do, I'll be making a review for the channel. So excited for that one. And then the pre-orders will close for the Son Goku and Son Gohan with the Nimbus Cloud, which was the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive for 2024, which Tamashii Nations just randomly decided to re-release. So that one's been an interesting one because not a lot of online retailers had it up for pre-order. I think Out of all the ones I cover, only Big Bad Toy Store had it up for pre-order, and for an outrageous price in my opinion. So yeah, kind of an interesting one. And then the Super Saiyan Gogeta, the exclusive edition, which was the New York Comic Con exclusive, went up for sale in October, of course, at New York Comic Con, and then for like 1 hour on Premium Bandai. And then in November, so looking towards the future now, we are getting the re-release of Bulma Adventure Begins, as well as her motorcycle. So these have been up for pre-order for a while now. You can still pre-order them to this day if you want them. Big Bad Toy Store, I believe, has them, but I know for a fact Toys in the Box has them up for pre-order. And then Son Goku Ultra Instinct Breaking Through the Limits is finally going to be released. It's going to be a Tamashii Nation store exclusive, and it appears it's going to be first released during this event here, which is the Tamashii Nations 2025 from November 14th through the 16th. So I'm very excited about that one. That one's a little controversial. I know a lot of people don't like how it looks. Me personally, I think it looks great. I think it jumps up to being the second best Ultra Instinct Goku. I still think the Toyotaro version is number one, but this one is pretty nice as well. And then as far as pre-orders from Premium Bandai, Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta Mini Daima came out in October, which I already have a review up on the channel if you want to check that out. But in November, specifically November 7th, is when these two figures are going to be shipped out. We're going to have the first wave of the Broly 40th anniversary reissue. So if you don't remember, this guy went up for pre-order, and then a bunch of people bought it to the point where they had to actually add a second wave. And the second wave, I believe, comes out in January, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I got the first wave, so I'll be receiving this probably like November 8th. And then we do have Nell, which, you know, completed people's Namek wish list. He's coming out also on November 7th. So I should receive mine November 8th, hopefully. And I'll have a review up for the channel. But that's it for the Tamashii Nations calendar. Now, this is the event that I was talking about, the Tamashii Nations 2025, which is going to be an event held again November 14th through the 16th in Japan. And there doesn't seem to be a lot of stuff going on with Dragon Ball S.H.Figuarts. It seems mostly for other series. However, the event is free, and it's going to have 3 venues, I believe. I believe the one in Belsao, Akihabara, that one's going to have the Dragon Ball display. And they're going to be selling, of course, the Son Goku Ultra Instinct Tamashii Nation store exclusive, as well as the Games Begin Super Saiyan Goku. So if you live in Japan, make sure to check it out if you want either of those two figures. But that's pretty cool. Next up, we're going to move over to Premium Bandai. And honestly, it's pretty bare bones these days. You have the usual figures that are on sale on Amazon, like GT Goku and all these Daima characters. If you're interested in the superhero ones, they do have Vegeta and Piccolo. So if you want to pick those up, again, I will remind you that Premium Bandai, for whatever reason, still charges $10 for shipping. So it's probably cheaper to find these figures elsewhere. But the one figure you're going to want to take a look at is the Premium Bandai exclusive Super Saiyan Son Goku Fighter of Rage for $65. Pre-order is currently open. There is no closing date as of yet. And the figure will be shipped out July 2026. Now, just want to remind you, or if this is the first time you're seeing this figure, this is basically Goku from when he first turned Super Saiyan in the Namek Saga, when he was fighting Frieza. And I just gotta tell you, this one looks amazing. I can't wait to get this one. It, of course, has the new articulation technology that, you know, Games Begin, as well as the Kind-Hearted Saiyan Goku have. So I'm really excited to add this one to my collection. If you're brand new to Dragon Ball S.H.Figuarts, now it's a very exciting time because all these new figures are coming out with the new articulation, which is pretty cool. And yeah, I just think he looks amazing. I think the likeness is incredible. It's really spot on. I like the marketing that they've been doing with this figure specifically. I've seen their ads on YouTube many times, and it's just like a stop motion fight between Goku and Frieza, which I really like. And then just A little extra more that the figure brings is that if you have the legendary Super Saiyan Goku, the faces from that one will be able to be used on the new figure. Unfortunately, the new figure faces will not be able to be used on the older figure, but it's still pretty cool if you happen to own both. Next up is Big Bad Toy Store, and like I was saying, the Goku and Gohan with Nimbus Cloud pre-order for $177. That's kind of crazy. That's before shipping and taxes as well. So you might be paying upwards to $200 for this figure that originally released for $100. It's wild to me. And then they do have the pre-orders for the aforementioned Dangerous Pride Vegeta and Kind-Hearted Saiyan at $37.99 each. They do still have in stock Majin Buu, which is, if you don't have a Majin Buu, now is the best time to pick one up because this figure recently was re-released. And then before that, this figure was reselling for like 120, 130, 140, 150. Also, the Krillin Strongest Man. If you didn't want the newly announced Goku's childhood friend, maybe you skipped on that one. This Krillin is still very good. He is a little taller than childhood friend, but he comes with the Destructo Disc and he comes with nice looking head sculpts and a bunch of different hands, which I really like. So that if you're looking for Krillin, that one definitely does the job. It's not a bad figure whatsoever. And then they have in stock these ones. And then pre-orders are still going on for Supreme Kai and Pansy from Daima. If you're a fan of Daima, get these. If you're not, I would say skip them. They're a little too expensive in my opinion if you don't really care about the figures or the series, at $75 each. And then we have the Goku GT on sale as well here. Super Saiyan 3 Goku is a nice one. This Ultra Instinct Goku is basically the most basic Ultra Instinct. He is a bit expensive, but he does the job if you want an Ultra Instinct Goku. They do have the Piccolo Adult Daima in stock for $75, as well as the Cell First Form, which was recently announced for a re-release. You can still pre-order Goku The Games Begin on here for $37.99. And then one of the most underrated figures in the entire line, in my opinion, we have Frieza First Form. It's a really nice figure. The pot is incredible. It's such good articulation. The accessories are really cool. Now, they also did put their own Piccolo Mini Daimas on sale as well, which it wasn't last week, so that's brand new. And then pre-orders for the Super Saiyan Broly from Dragon Ball Super is up for pre-order as well, $99.99. And then anything else, they have all these different Gokus in stock. They have the Super Saiyan Vegeta Awakening Saiyan Blood for pre-order. Honestly, skip that one. Just pre-order the brand new Super Saiyan Vegeta. Pre-order for the Bulma's motorcycle, $89.99. I could see a lot of people skipping on that one because it's just basically a prop. And then I just don't really recommend you ever buy the premium Bandai exclusives from here because they just, they charge a lot because they're buying them at the same price that we are. Now, I will tell you that it's probably way cheaper to get them from eBay or from OfferUp if somebody's selling them. Like, for example, Medical Machine, I was able to get mine for less than $100 on eBay doing bids. That's usually the best way to get better prices. And then, yeah, like this Guru $485. I don't know who's paying that. They do have the pre-order for Shenron up here, the second reissue for $120. And then they did put their Trunks from GT on sale for $90, which is still a lot for that figure. Anything else on here? So Glorio, if you want the Daima figures, this one is super expensive. $95 for Glorio. That's crazy to me. He came out when the whole tariff situation was going on. Next up, we're going to move over to Toys in the Box and just want to highlight some of the figures they have on here. So up for pre-order is Super Saiyan Goku, the Kind-Hearted Saiyan. Their price is $34.99, so that's cheaper than Big Bad Toy Store. Same thing with the Vegeta Dangerous Pride, $34.99. And then Supreme Kai, $69.99, so $5 less than Big Bad Toy Store. And Pansy for $69.99, again, $5 less. Then Cell First Form, again, $5 less for that one. Broly, $5 less for that one. So if you don't know, basically Toys in the Box, they usually have cheaper prices on these figures. And if you're buying 3 or more figures at once, you get an additional discount, so make sure to check that out. I usually get my figures from Toys in the Box because I tend to buy these figures in bulk. So, you know, that's the cheapest way I get them, from like an American retailer. Of course, I could buy them in bulk and import them from Japan, but that's going to take a longer time. And, you know, it's just easier for me to order from a store like this. Glorio is actually $10 less than Big Bad Toy Store, so I recommend, if you do want that figure, to get it from Toys in the Box. And then the Games Begin, still taking pre-orders at $36.99, even though the figure was technically released yesterday. And then Shenron, $10 less at Toys in the Box for the reissue. But yeah, that's going to be pretty it. Oh, actually, Piccolo Adult Daima, $70, so $5 less. But yeah, that's Toys in the Box for you. Now, for some third-party stuff, we're at 5K Toys. They do still have in stock the Demoniacal Fit Fury Awakening figure. So this is basically is their version of the one that's currently on pre-order at Premium Bandai, which is that first appearance Super Saiyan Goku. This is what theirs look like. So it's going to be a pretty nice Goku. In my opinion, I think the official one looks better, but that's just me. If you prefer this one from Demoniacal Fit, I don't blame you at all. And then they also have the legendary Berserker Shattered the Universe, which is the Broly with the maroon skirt and the greenish looking hair. It looks pretty cool. Still surprised to this day that he hasn't gone out of stock. Broly's usually fly off the shelf. That one's only $70 for this cool looking Broly. So if you don't have a Broly like that, maybe it's the time to give Demoniacal Fit a try. And then lastly, we do have the Trump Card Power that even got Sphere up for pre-orders. So this is a Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Vegito. This one's actually been up for pre-orders for quite some time now. I wonder if there's some issues with the figure going on or something like that. But this one's going to cost you basically a total of $49 plus shipping. And you get an aura effect piece, crossed arms, 2 blast effects, different hands, different faces. It's a very good deal for this figure in my opinion. Just gonna go over some miscellaneous news, and through Tamashii, which is Tamashii Nation's Instagram handle, they did show us that they will be re-releasing the Frieza 4th form as well as the Super Saiyan 3 Goku as of yesterday. Now it does say that these items will hit stores in Japan, so maybe it's just a Japan thing since they don't have Frieza up on their calendar. That's a little weird to me, but they had announced it previously that Frieza was getting a reissue. Hopefully, not just in Japan. Hopefully, we'll be able to see them in stores here in America because I love that figure, and I feel like if you don't have a Frieza, this one does it justice. And then also in Tamashii, they uploaded basically an unboxing and review of the Games Begin Goku. So if you haven't seen that one, make sure to check that out to see all the accessories and the brand new articulation that comes with the Goku. Now, the one thing a lot of people are kind of iffy on is the waist articulation. He does seem to, you know, look kind of awkward because his waist moves around a lot. So you have to make sure that it aligns properly when you're posing him, especially if you want to take pictures, because it can look a little weird. And then Demoniacal Fit announced their upcoming Hero Waltz, the Supreme Dance, which is their Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Gogeta. Now, the Super Saiyan Gogeta was a really, really nice figure. I really enjoyed that one. It was really nice. So this one is kind of like a continuation to that figure. So it will come with an additional Super Saiyan head, which is kind of like waving off to the side. And then he comes with 2 heads for his base form Gogeta, and then 2 heads for the blue Gogeta. And then he comes with different faces for each. And then he comes with different hands, crossed arms, and a Kamehameha, which is pretty good value in my opinion. So if this figure is anything to go based off the Super Saiyan one, it's going to be an incredible figure. And if you did buy the Super Saiyan one, then you want to contact your retailer once you want to pre-order this figure and tell them that you bought the Super Saiyan 1 and that you want the additional free effect pieces. I don't know why it doesn't just already come with the figure, but you have to make sure to ask your retailer. And then other than that, Hobby Model Store, they announced that RE and DKO are coming out with different heads for Super Saiyan Goku. So this is basically from like the Cell Saga when Goku sacrificed himself and just throughout the entire fight with Cell. So they're gonna have two versions actually. So this is the solid color. So this is just gonna be a solid yellow Super Saiyan head. And they have a Pearl Light, which in my opinion, I think is gonna be more of like a clearer yellow instead of like a full on solid yellow. So up to you which one you think looks better. In my opinion, I would probably go with the solid color, but you know, that's just my preference. And then Black Hole did announce they're gonna be coming out with some sort of Gohan. I don't know if this is just like a head accessory or if they're coming out with their own Gohan, but you know, the more Gohan, the better. In my opinion, he's one of my favorite characters, so I really like the way these ones are looking, especially this smirking face. I really like that one. And this one looking off to the side is pretty cool. And then ZT Studio is coming out with their own legendary Super Saiyan Broly. It just seems like every studio out there wants to make a Broly. And it's just kind of funny in my opinion. This guy's going to be huge if you haven't seen the pictures. But the one thing people don't really like is just how kind of having a bad tan on this one. So you can see it more over here, but he looks very yellowish in the paint right here in the body. So, I mean, in my opinion, it kind of does look like the movie from what I remember. So I don't think it looks the worst. You know, it's obviously a preference thing, what kind of aesthetic you want with your Broly. But this one looks pretty cool. Also, the face, some people were complaining about it, saying it looks too weird, too goofy. But again, it does really remind me of the movie. So I think it's pretty accurate in my opinion. But that's basically gonna be it for the news and updates of the week. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate you. If you've been a long-time subscriber, of course I appreciate you. If you're brand new, maybe this is the first video you're watching on me, I would really appreciate a subscribe as well as a like. It really goes a long way with the channel. But other than that, just want to say that I really appreciate you and I hope you have a nice rest of your day.